Three entrepreneurs, one podcast, zero chance we agree on everything. This is the Ron Table. When business gets real, life gets messy, guests drop in, opinions fly, and yes, movie quotes are basically a second language. Business, life, occasional dumpster fire. So pull up your seat and let's get into it. All right, hello, and welcome back to the Ron Table, where we try and serve truth without the filter and remind you that likes won't keep the lights on. So I'm Ron Miller, and I am joined by these certified real ones, Nicole Gray and Laine Belcastro. Welcome back to the table, ladies. Laine, we promise not to digitally yeet you this time.
Thank you.
Swear we
I
won't.
want to be here.
Well, we need you here, right? It's on the table. if we digitally heat you out of this shit. So I am sorry that Squadcast was a bastard. So they're on our shit list and we have eliminated them from the process. Today, they are dead to us. Today, listen, we're just gonna dive head first into one of the most exhausting trends in business today. Generic, recycled, look at me, thirst trap bullshit content dressed up as advice, right? We've all seen it. 6 Steps to Freedom, which somehow costs $500 a pop and looks suspiciously like a Canva template or a Jeff Bezos wedding invitation, right? It's like an AI written ebook. It's all hustle, no substance. And so we're calling it out because some people are out trying to influence, and we as entrepreneurs, we're trying to build, and so are a lot of you, something real, something sustainable, something that doesn't require thirst trap filters or fake jets, right? We're not going to get us like dancing with elephants over here. So we're going to throw it back to the 80s, and I'm going to just quote a little Public Enemy here, where I say, don't believe the hype. Oh, yeah. So pull up your chair. Let's talk about what matters. So anyways, I don't have a singing career. I will just say that. Like, I can sing, like I can karaoke the shit out of certain things, and there's other stuff I just can't. Like, you want me to use Stone Temple Pilots?
I would say, Ron, my lip sync game is on. So if you just ever want to go down that route, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid. Listen, I'll just go and sing. Like, I'll kill some songs, but most of it, I really don't care. I'm not going to get signed. Not even Weird Al would sign me. Maybe as cover art, but definitely not as voice.
Hey, you never know.
Right.
You never know. You could have you don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So I want to kind of preface this because as entrepreneurs, we struggle with getting our message out, right? And there's not a ton of platforms for us to do that, right? And we're not all in high traffic, network heavy areas. Some of us are urban, some of us are rural, some of us are so rural, cows are our neighbors around the horse farms, even though we don't have horses, because I'm an entrepreneur. I can't afford a donkey. I can't afford the ass of a donkey right now. But I digress. It's frustrating when you see this stuff, especially for me. And I got examples for us to kind of talk about. And this is just like shit from like this last week. Here's the stuff that I'm talking about. If you are more fortunate than others, build a longer table, not a taller fence. 858 reactions. No shit. Thanks, Captain Obvious. Having people smarter than you in your team is a privilege, not a threat. 1,363 reactions. If you need a meme to remember that as a leader, you shouldn't be leading shit. Period. If you need to know that as a reminder, you shouldn't be a leader, that you should hire people smarter than you. Because if you're the smartest person in the room, I'm not even going to go there. Not even going to go there. And the last one. Bosses train people to need them. Leaders train people to replace them. 1,949 reactions.
Wow.
That's just the online geriatric AI, no thought, regurgitated bullshit that the algorithms love and people love to react to because it's an easy one.
Right.
And what's getting lost in all that is the message. It's the
Mhm.
real content, the business substance that matters, and the connections. And it's all getting blown up in this horrible whirlwind of crap all
Yep.
the time.
I th-
Yeah.
yeah. I think people love to sound like a philosopher on LinkedIn and social media in general these days. And they get all of these likes just because but half the time people aren't reading it. And most of the time the posts aren't saying anything.
Yeah.
It's just, like you said, it's either AI regurgitated content or it's meaningless or it's literally just they're posting to post just to get the algorithm to see that they're posting, but they're not saying anything. But people are liking it for the same reason. So it's this annoying game of just liking and posting for algorithm purposes. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, is it meaningful content that's affecting your bottom line or helping your bottom line? I mean, those are the things. I mean, when I post, it's very intentional, or it's like I have a funny story that happened to me. It's probably about a movie or something stupid, but I can relate it back to email marketing. So I try to make it intentional and relating to my business versus just posting to post.
Yeah. I mean,
because that's not going to get me anywhere.
it's so funny because it seems like Captain Obvious is running the algorithm. Everything is surface level. We're the guy
Yeah.
who's going to be like with the affirmations. You're beautiful.
Mhm.
You're everything. You're
You are
wonderful.
Polly.
And I love you. I mean,
Yes.
more than
do
that.
it,
Yes.
Polly.
As we're sorry, Ron. I didn't mean to-
Respect me. I'm
Yeah.
trying to 37 people are driving toward the Camry.
Right. Give me a little bit more. And I love what you said, Lainey, as far as what you post, because I'm a lot like you. I post with intention, but more than that, it's posting with action. It's all about transformation.
Right.
It's not just like the hobbyist as far as like, hey, to be a leader. No, this is what I went through. And this is how and hopefully you can learn. I need the
Right.
cake, all the ingredients, like show me how you made the cake, make the cake, and then let me taste it. But everybody just wants the frosting. And then we're in this perfect storm of people always say, well, I'm here for you entrepreneurs, but it's going to cost you 20 grand. Or it's, hey, new entrepreneur, do you want to know how I made 7 or 8 figures? First of all, stop. Because
Yes.
nobody's making 7 or 8 figures right off the bat. But let's be very realistic, especially solopreneurs, because there's also a difference too. Like people are like, why do you say that? Because real entrepreneurs a lot of times are brick and mortar and they have a lot of employees. And we're not. We're in like a totally different industry. Just us. We're home. We have yes, we'd love to make 7 or 8 figures, but we have to be very realistic. We're just like Ron said, we're just trying to get the lights on. Okay. We're trying to pay the mortgage.
Right.
We just try to get Chick-fil-A every once in a while. Like this whole idea of they know that we're scrapping, but yet they're trying to sell us in these ideas. And I think that's what the mistakes. They go to these Instagram and, Facebook folks who are going to sell them or somebody on your team. Because I'm making 8
That's
figures.
very good.
You're going to see a representative of Nicole Gray. I'm sorry. Because I'm in the back doing other stuff. I'm making 7 or 8 figures. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And it's so true. There's people that I follow who claim to be business coaches, and every single day, I swear, their post is like, I made 30 grand in 5 minutes, and here's how. And then they get you on the phone, and they're like, to your point, Nicole, to work with me, it's going to be 20 grand. Well, I'm reaching out to you because I don't have that 20 grand in the first place.
Right.
So I need to start small and figure out how to make that so that I can then afford a legitimate coach later.
Yeah.
But really, I mean, I think people are starting to catch on to it. I think they're starting to realize, okay, people are posting the same old crap. It's probably not true. So I'm going to sift through and only interact with meaningful content. I'm starting to see that a little bit more. So I hope it's changing because, oof. These salesy posts, I can't.
Oh, it's crazy. And it's not just here. Listen, I fell victim to this, I don't know, 8 months ago, right? And it wasn't that I didn't go in uneducated because I had scrolled past countless, but in trying to build a sales funnel, right? I researched it. It had great reviews. It had good results. I was able to talk to 2 people that used it and said it worked. Like, I did homework on it. And they were really trying to talk me into the $2,000 plan, which I said, absolutely not. 30 days is all I'm willing to give it. I don't want to
Right.
hear, no, it really takes 6 months. That's not what you said. You said 3.
Right.
I'm willing to do 30. And I spent the money, and it was a friggin' nightmare. They didn't listen. They didn't target. They never had the automation. I was getting in-mails 7, 8 months afterwards because of the generic shit, and probably got blocked by a bunch of people. And I just got wise after that. You know, it was a waste. Thank God it wasn't a waste, and I didn't get talked into something else. I gave something a try, and I was done. I get concerned, though, too, where we've been around the block now for a little bit, and we've seen the same regurgitated shit, but there's all these people. We see them in groups that we're in. We see them doing the frack. We see all the advertisers of get out of corporate. You got an expiration date. And these people come out and they're looking to make money quick, and they get sucked in by this, and they are sucking out the lifeline of new entrepreneurs so they can make 30,000 in a week.
So
Yeah.
Ron,
It's terrible.
yeah, Ron, I'm so glad you said that, because what we don't want to do is freak people out and be like, why would you want to be an entrepreneur? No, there's a lot of reasons to do it. But sometimes when you're first starting out, you don't know what you don't know. We have had to go through this, and that's why we're doing this, to educate you. We're not saying everybody out there is trying to scam you by any means. No, there are some legit ones. But what we're saying is, like you did, Ron, I've done that too. I've done my homework. I got referrals. I've met with these people. I thought, oh, this is great. And then you get it, and it's not what you thought. Again, you know what I mean? Once that one person, once you talk to Ed and he gets over at you, don't go back to Ed. Find something else. You know what I mean? It's the people who are like, what? I'm going to get Ed a 4th try. No. Ed has already scammed you out of 10 grand. The 3 of us, because he made his 10 grand in half an hour. So what we're saying is just do your homework. But a lot of times, because look, you are going to have to invest sometimes to make your business better. It's just, you're not going to get everything for free. It's just be mindful of what you're investing in. And if they do hit it, if they get over on you, don't go back, because that's their ticket. Oh, I got 750. Let me fix it, Ron, for 2,000. I mean, I've been there, done that with my website. You know what I'm saying? So it can happen, but we're just saying pivot, regroup, have a woosah, and then go back there, or go to folks like the, kind of the network we're creating here, and just reaching out and saying, hey, Ron, have you heard it? Because I'm sure between the 3 of us, we've heard of a lot of these people. Reach out to us. You have a question. Hey, I'm thinking about doing so-and-so. Have you heard of it? We're either going to say yay or nay, or we're not sure. But then maybe, give you some tips of asking them a lot of questions before you just hand over your credit card. That's the thing. You are going to have to invest in your company. Just be smart with it. Same person is making all this money off of you. Maybe don't keep going back. That's the key.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think, to your point, Nicole, there are definitely good coaches and people that are selling these things that are legit for sure. They're not going to screw you over at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it's also, as entrepreneurs, when you're first starting out, you probably will get screwed over at some point. Because everyone's selling you the shiny bells and whistles, and you think you need all of it. So you do invest, and you get sucked in, and then you realize, oh crap, that's wrong. But I think sadly, it also takes that experience to recognize the people that are posting on social as being BSers. It's almost like, oh my gosh, this just came to me. It's like Caddyshack. Rodney Dangerfield's character, how he so badly wants to be part of like the cool club and the expensive club.
Yeah.
And then he gets there and realizes it's all a bunch of BS. Like, that's kind of how the social media likes are, because when you see these people, you think they look amazing. And then you get there and you work with them and you're like, they're not any better than me. Like, they're just getting more likes because of whatever they're doing with this algorithm crap, but they're not any better than
Honestly,
me.
Lainey, that's the plot of every 80s movie that we grew up with. You want to be part of people, you want to sit at that lunch table, you realize they're full of crap.
Yeah.
You just go back to your table because you realize you're not.
Realize they're not right.
You're not that great.
They're not better than you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, to the whole point, how many likes you have doesn't automatically mean that you're actually making all of these millions and are actually doing well and are happy. You might find that just going down your own path, no matter how many likes you get, is perfectly
Well,
fine.
and can I also say too, likes and followers are two different things. Because I know this is something for me the past year I've been looking at because, with LinkedIn, I reach over a certain number and I do appreciate that. I don't know if they necessarily like me because they don't know me, but they appreciate my content. I get feedback of people saying, oh, thank you for this and this and the other. That's a lot different because you do want to have a following, right? You want to have a base. We were just talking about like Ron, you're saying like, you want a sales funnel, you want people to, like your newsletter, or we want people to like this podcast. We want people to follow this. But if they don't like it, or if they don't like us, it's like, we're not going to lose any sleep. And that's the part of entrepreneur that people get caught up with. Well, I want them to like me. No. You want people to like your work. You want people to respect you. They want people to like your voice. Like, Laine, you're a badass in your industry with what you do. You're an expert. So people are going to be like, ooh, I like what Laine does. But they don't necessarily know you. So I think entrepreneurs have to get over this thing as far as like, oh, I hope they like me. No. You want people to follow you and like your work. Yeah. That's the most important thing. That's the thing that's going to get you to grow, because then they'll say, ooh, Laine was awesome. So now I got to tell somebody else, and they're going to tell somebody else. So it'll be this chain reaction. And then you get like 20 other followers because people are like, ooh, I want to hear what she has to say. That's the key.
Exactly.
That's the key to growing.
Yeah. I know it's hard for me because I post content consistently because I have messages on consulting and recruiting and training that I like to get out, and I try and build it in a series, right? Because I think it's critical information share. It's not conjecture.
Right.
But I find extreme inconsistencies, and I find that my stuff at times doesn't ever get seen. Like, Nicole, like one of your posts from 2 weeks ago came up for the first time in my feed today.
Wow.
Right.
2 weeks ago. And Laine, I rarely see your posts even when you post. I see when you comment, but I rarely see when you post. It comes up weeks later. And as a new business trying to get your message out there, it does get frustrating. And don't go down the rabbit hole, because it is very easy when you look at this, right to that point of, don't put out just the bullshit content trying to get likes, because that's not going to build it. And understand that there are a lot of people on this platform that are not interested in building a business. They're interested in being recognized as an influencer, right? And you see it, and it becomes a little bit more clear to you as their posting goes, because it starts to convert from business, and I hate using the term, but I'm going to use it, the thirst trap. Because and then you start to see it in the comments, right? Because then a whole bunch of mid guys in life are like, oh, beautiful. Oh, this is hey, I like that. It's a picture that's semi-provocative with a base message trying to get the likes, right? And I've seen it go both ways. I've seen both sides do this, because all they care about is the likes, the reposts, and the comments to drive them to something else outside of the business platform, the social media, because like TikTok and everyone else, that's where you start getting paid as an influencer for your followers and interactions when you hit certain points. And that's fine for some people. That's cool. But it is absolutely gumming up the business and the networking end of it. It's frustrating because it's taking over the algorithm.
Yeah, because I decided not to wear a thong to promote my coaching because I just thought it was a little much. Something about wearing a thong and talking about one-on-one coaching was just a little much.
I bet you're failing because of it, Nicole.
I know.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right? We see it out there.
Well, no,
right?
I do. And I wanted to ask you both, what do you think can an influencer be an entrepreneur?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
If they truly want to be an entrepreneur and they are influencing with intention.
So with that, are we influencers too? I mean, I know people have taken that word and really it's almost like a generational thing, but I feel like we're influencing. So why is it like this whole, I'm an influencer? And it's like, okay, that's great.
Well, that's true.
Influencers by today's definition of it.
Today's
Right.
definition. I'm just, and I just, yeah.
An influencer today, you're posting your entire life, right? And everything you do is important, what everybody else should be doing. Like you are literally videographing everything you do, every moment and every product you use is important for you to record because you are trying to get people to be like you, to buy the stuff that you use, you like, you do, and you're influencing their entire life. I think what we're trying to do is from an educational standpoint.
So what
It's
about the,
Mhm.
okay,
to
so real
help
quick, Roy,
people.
so what about content creators? Because I see that's a big one now too. People are like, well,
That's
because
true.
somebody actually said to me the other day, oh no, I'm not an influencer, I'm a content creator.
I also think a lot of the influencers are trying to rebrand themselves as that to sound,
Yeah.
I wear a thong, so buy my stuff kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't wear the thong, but I'll suggest it.
You're Ron.
But I think,
Listen,
this goes
I
back-
ask my barber every time I go if he can make this look like George Clooney. You know, it's like, what do you want to do this week? I'm like George Clooney, I don't know,
but I
Joseph
think this,
Gordon-Levitt,
but I think this
whatever.
goes back to kind of like what you kicked off, Ron, as far as like likes don't build legacies. And at the end of the day, handle your business. So whatever you're going to call yourself, you still got to handle your business. Because tomorrow we could all say, well, I'm a coach, but I'm also a content creator. Or Laine could say, well,
Yeah.
I do this, but I'm also an influencer. Saying,
Mhm.
don't get caught up in the likes or whatever you want to call
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's about business. Are you handling your business? Key.
Yeah.
I could like you till you're blue in the face, but it's a business. And I want people to like me.
Yeah.
But if they don't, I'm okay because I still got a business. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Perfect example. I have a really close friend who's in the same industry as me, email marketing, and she has posted consistently on LinkedIn for a few years now. And it's always about business. It's very much action items, helpful tips. It's never personal life things, nothing. And at this rate, she is an influencer by definition, but it's very much that she just likes to help people and she likes the community on LinkedIn. And from there, she's going to start her own business and go out on her own because she now does have those followers. So I think that's the type of influencer an entrepreneur should strive to be,
Mhm.
is post intentional, helpful tips for everybody to educate.
When
So
it's a different process
It-
when an entrepreneur becomes an influencer versus an
Right.
influencer trying to masquerade as an entrepreneur.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Well,
Mhm.
all right, Ron. Well, with that, with you having the moment, how about you kick us the For the Win and the WTF?
Can't wait for
I'm
that.
sorry, the barbershop scene in Coming to America, every barbershop scene Coming to America. You will find it hard pressed for me to admit that there's any movie ever in the history of movies funnier than Coming to America. I've seen that 1,000 times and I still laugh. I think I know in line by. Anyways, so my For the Win.
Just real quick, Robert. I'm just proud of myself when I did that. You knew exactly.
We all were like, "Yep, we get it." We are all on the same page with Eddie Murphy.
Which Banana in the Tailpipe was from Beverly Hills Cop.
It was, yes. Yep, banana on the tailpipe.
Which, before I get to For the Win, Nicole, I will tell you, for my dad, that is his favorite movie scene of all time, is the start of that movie in that cigarette truck and the guy just barreling through Los Angeles and Eddie Murphy swinging off the back, and that guy's like, yeah. I think before my dad passes away, he's almost 80 now. I swear to God, he's gonna hijack a semi and he's gonna go do that because it's like his dream. Anyway,
I would love it. I would love it. I would love it.
Yep.
And I'd like to make enough money to pay Eddie Murphy to hang off of the back for him because it would only make him smile to know that he was living the whole thing. Anyway,
Yep.
so my win has nothing to do with stolen cigarette trucks barreling through Los Angeles. It has to do with my daughter. So my daughter has now completed her first week in her new internship job with Atlantic Health.
Yes.
So for those of you who followed, knew what a chore it was for her, even with all of her academic accolades and her background and her experience, to find a summer internship that was paid or an internship period. She did all this hard work. She's with Atlantic Health for the summer for the next 15 weeks. She's super excited. She had a great first week, and it looks like it's a good fit, until she starts classes. So that is my for the win.
Awesome.
My WTF, there's so many of them in the world right now. And
Lady, he's grabbing his temples. That's what
I know. He's got an eye twitch.
I have the eye twitch this time. So I think my WTF is just going to be Wednesdays right now, because every goddamn Wednesday up here in the Northeast, all but like one, it rains. And god damn it, I have a short window of a golf league. It's the one thing in life I enjoy doing. I am not a fantastic golfer. I'm not a scratch golfer, but I do like to play. And have it just rain and pour every goddamn Wednesday. Mother Nature, you are on my shit list.
Well,
WTF.
Well, Ron, me and Lady are in Atlanta, and it has rained every day for, I swear, months now. We are now called Seattle Light or Seattle Southeast. So I'm sorry about your Wednesday, but I'm pulling out the little violin because we have literally had a thunderstorm every day for months. We are over it. But I tell you, over it. So I'll give you your Wednesday, but try Monday through Sunday.
It's so true.
Listen, we've had probably 11 inches of rain up here for the last month and a half, too. Like, beavers bought the house next door. It was incredible.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're being arc. So,
yeah. We can all gather. It'll be great. I'll let everybody in.
Let's all come to my town except the influencers. All right, lady, why don't you go next?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So my win is totally unrelated. It's concert bucket list, checked off the bucket list. I saw Metallica for the first time, and it was lovely. Lovely is a weird word to describe Metallica. I don't know why I said that. It was awesome.
If you say it like this, it was lovely.
Yeah, it was lovely. It just doesn't go. But it was great, and I can officially say that I have seen Metallica because I keep trying to see all of these concerts before everyone keeps freaking dying. So that's dark, but it's true. If they are in town, I will go, whether it's by myself or not.
And it's the death tour.
Yeah, I know. It's scary, but it's true. What the fuck is also Metallica? Because they didn't play The Unforgiven. And that's like the one song that I really, really, I mean, they played everything else I wanted to hear, but like, it's like Aerosmith not playing Dream On.
Seriously.
Like, I just cannot play The Unforgiven. Yeah. So now I'm going to have to go see them again and hope I hear it.
That was classic. Yeah. Metallica, do better.
Lady, can I tell you something? I don't know if I ever shared this with you. In a Metallica concert video from the mid 80s. Dead center, up front, long hair. Yes, I am in a video.
Oh, now,
please.
And for all the kids who are listening, just Google and
Google
or go to YouTube. That's all I'm going to be doing later. I'm trying to.
I was 15 at the time, so long hair, 15.
I gotta see that video.
Yes, Ronnie, please dig it up so we can see that.
All right, Nicole.
Yeah, so mine are sports related. So my for the win is the NBA draft, and not the draft in itself, but the stories behind it. So we had a guy from South Sudan. I hope I'm not butchering his name. It was Kaman Malouch, just getting drafted and knowing what it meant to his family, and they were refugees, and a lot of times not having food and all that. And there's another young man whose grandparents are deaf. So his mother can hear and he can hear. So growing up, he had to learn sign language. So the fact that he was signing after he got drafted, I mean, those are just the stories that you want to hear. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's when you know for these kids, it's a big deal. They've worked hard. But hearing all those stories is wonderful. I love that every year. My WTF is also a sports story. So I'm sure you all heard about the baseball player Ketel Marte. Am I saying it right, Ron? Is it Marte or Marta? Do you know his name?
I think it's Marta.
Oh,
I think it's Marta.
Okay, well, he plays outfield, and I don't know the specifics, like, I can't remember the team he's on, but the story just got me. But he was playing, and all of a sudden, he just got really emotional, and his coach and everybody came out to embrace him. They weren't sure what's going on. He was being taunted by a fan who said something about his mother. It was actually very just disgusting things. Well, his mother died in a car crash. And even though it was 2017, for anybody who's lost a parent, I lost my dad in 2018, you still feel that. And, some people are like, oh, he's a grown man, why is he crying? Because first of all, you don't taunt somebody about their dead parent. How about that? So the fan who said the things apologized, but whatever, the MLB did the right thing and they banned him, like from any games, from any
From the
baseball,
stadium.
any stadiums. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, just what the fuck? And honestly, I'm so over these fans, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, who just feel like, oh, I bought my ticket, I can say anything. No, just enjoy the damn game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like these people act like even if you bet, it's not that deep. And guess what?
Yeah.
These players, they're human. So just kudos to his team, embracing him, and MLB for saying what they need to say. But seriously, just WTF. It's just too much. It's just too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
So
everyone needs to chill.
they really do.
It's like
They really do.
it's like content online. If you don't like it, you have the option to scroll by instead of being a keyboard dickhead cowboy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the team, and you're just gonna bitch. Don't buy the ticket and go to the game.
Right. And again, remember, this is a game. I'm sorry in fourth grade you didn't get picked on a team. So now you got to take this out on everybody else. But it is what it is, Carl. Okay. So just sit there, eat your popcorn, and shut the. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
before I go off on a tirade now, Nicole, about why safety labels have been the downfall of our society, because that's where I'm going to go next with that kind of bullshit, is why these people even exist. You need a label to know coffee is hot. We don't need you. Anyway, so if you've been this far, congratulations. Your attention span still works. You didn't have to worry, brain. You haven't bought into the $3,000 mastermind promotion of promises of being a multimillionaire and results that give you Canva PDFs, right? So here's the truth as we close this out. Legacy is not built on likes. It's built on hard work, on consistency, on showing up for yourself, your message, your product, and your network and people when the cameras are off. So if you're tired of the noise and ready to do the real work, let's build the kind of business and connections people actually remember and show up for. This has been the Round Table. So Laine, Nicole, thank you again, as always, for being a part of this. We couldn't do any of this without one another. I appreciate you both. How to get a hold of Laine and Nicole will be right out on each episode as well, so you can get a hold of them on LinkedIn and their business. And until next time, unless you ghost us, to post another rise and grind selfie in front of a rented car or an elephant, you know where to find us. Well, that's a wrap on this episode of The Ron Table. Thanks for pulling up your chair, lending us your ear, and not touching our drums. Interested in more chaos, common sense, and conversations? Well, make sure that you hit that like button or the follow button, or drop us a question or a comment in the comment section below. If you want to follow us on social media, you can check out more under the resources tab at www.elevate-talent-solutions.com. Or you can visit Nicole Gray at renewedimpact.com. Hit up Laine Belcastro at lmbdigimarketing.com. And a big shout out to our producer and co-host Adrian Ruthart at acrventures.com. Until next time, keep that chair warm because we're not done yet.